Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Kaz's Fireball, released in 2019 and first seen in Star Wars Resistance. Now in the show, it's named the Fireball because it would commonly explode or flame up during a race, and I think that's kind of humorous. But in the show itself, in the first couple of episodes, it was rebuilt by our heroes from various pieces around the station. You know, you need parts, you need maintenance, and to me it adds a little realism to it, so I kind of dig that. Now getting back to this particular vessel, for its size, it's about 3 inches long and a tad over 3 inches wide, so it's a nicely sized ship here. Now everybody should know how my videos go by now. We're going to take a look at the mold, the paint, put on a stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Alright, let's get this video started looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the vehicle, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see all those fine details. So up first, we have the main hull of the ship, which is very nice with some little line work here and there. Very cool. I will admit, I do like the front of the vessel. It's very different than what we're used to. Mine does have some paint wear, but what are you going to do? We also have our Canopy, an astromech droid, which I do not know if it's supposed to be Bucket or BB-8 or a random droid. I haven't got too far into the show, but I like how it's molded in there. Coming back, we have little modules and line work here. Some beautiful detailing on the aft of the ship as well. Even the engines. Very nice. Now for the wings, we can see some awesome detail in here. Beautiful stuff. We have our engines, and one of my favorite parts on here, the laser cannons, with this nicely done fin, and the barrel coming down here. Instead of it being like a crescent moon, it's a full circle with the barrel in between the circle cutting through. That's very cool. I like that quite a bit. Now for the underneath of the ship, we have 4 rivets holding it together, a connector port for the stand, copyright crap, and lots of little line work, very nicely done on the bottom here. And for the center section, beautifully done. So that covers all the major sections of the ship. So now let's get a close-up look. Alright, having a closer look at the Fireball, I have to admit this has some very nice line work on here. Starting off at the bottom, we have a giant rivet covering everything up, but underneath that we do have some nice line work. Cool modules on the sides. Going back, more line work. Looking good. I love this section here, like a cone. Pretty dope. We have our connector port for the stand. Another rivet, and just look at all this line work here. Very nice. I sort of wish that the rivets weren't here so we could see all that detail, but it is what it is, right? Pretty interesting. And then coming to the aft of the vessel, we can see some paint chipping there. Yeah, kind of sucks, but I love the detail in here. Very nice. Pretty cool. And while we're down here, let's go over the wings. We can see some beautiful line work here. Nicely done. I love the mold. We have our engine bottom right there. Looking good. Another rivet. And then the laser cannon, which we'll cover later. But all in all, nicely done. I like the design here. For the wing on the bottom, we have our copyright crap. We can see all that line work, the bottom of the engine. And then the laser cannon with the rivet. For the sides of the wings, we can see it's nicely done. Pretty flat. Like the molding in the back, we have the aft of our engine. Same for this side, there's no differences. Looking to the fronts. We have a line going down the center with some nice molding on the sides. Again, pretty nice. Now for the tops of the wings, we can see some nice line work and molding. Very cool. Now the paint on the top sort of covers everything and rounds it out. So you do lose a little of the molding, but we see that a lot with the Hot Wheels ships. Especially the engine. Look at that nice molding on the back. Pretty cool. Some modules. Very nice. I do think the design is pretty interesting. It's not my favorite, I will admit, but it's pretty different. Some more line work and modules. Loving the engines. Pretty cool. Nice design. Now for the top of the vessel, we have some nice molding here, some panel lines and line work. Pretty awesome. That's the same for this side. A little hard to see because of that paint cover and everything, but it is there. On the top of the vessel, we have some modules here and some recesses. Pretty awesome. We have our astromech. No detailing at all, just a dome, but it is there. And then coming down, we have some nice curves. And right here, we can see some detailing. It's covered up by the paint, but it is there. We can see it curves up here and goes down to the top. I don't know, it's sort of lost there. It's a shame. But you can see it here as well. Comes down, goes over, up to the top of the ship, and then curves down to the nose cone section. Now, the molding here is pretty interesting. I wish the paint really wasn't covering everything, but pretty cool. Next, we have our canopy. Nicely done. The paint is very crisp and clean as well. Pretty nice. We have this cool molded section on the top. Nice line work here as well. And then we have this nose cone section, if we want to call it that. And check out the molding on here. Very nicely done. I like the top section as well. Pretty cool. And then we have the front. Now mine does have some paint chipping, which is a shame. But the mold is pretty cool. I like the interior there. And I believe that covers everything except the laser cannons. So let's take a look at them now. And now checking out the laser cannons. On the back we have some nice molding. I think they came out cool. Then we have a piece of the ship that is attached to the laser cannon. And it's this cool looking fin. And I like the molding on there. And that's the same for the interior as well. Looking pretty good. And then around it's just flat and rounded because of the paint. Now for the laser cannon itself, the barrel, we have some molding here and there. Basically it's just what looks to be like a telescoping rod. Very nice, but I love the tip here. Now with an X-wing, usually it's a half crescent, but here they went with a full circle, and the barrel actually goes right through that circle and exits right here. And if it wasn't plastic, filling in those little gaps, you would see right through them. So that's pretty neat. I hope they actually make a bigger version of this, because I would buy it just to see how that looks. Pretty cool. Now both laser cannons are the same. There's no differences whatsoever. They're just basically mirrored. So that's everything for the mold. Hopefully I covered everything. So now let's check out the paint. And now looking at the paint on the Fireball, this baby features 7 different colors. First up is a nice light tan for the wings and the main body. Very nice. I love that color. It's also on the bottom of the wings. Looking good. Next we have some green on the aft of the vessel on both sides. And parts of the wings and engines. Looking dope. Our next color is a light orange for this nose cone section. The main body going all the way to the aft. Parts of the wing. And on the laser cannons with these cool looking fins. And that orange does wrap around to the bottom of the vessel. I like that quite a bit. Now that orange is also mixed with a red orange for the Fireball symbol. Looking good on both sides. I like that red quite a bit. Looking dope. Then we have I would say a dark tan for these 2 pieces here. Looking great. They're molded awesomely, and I love the paint on here. Very nice. And that's on the top and bottom. Looking good. Then we have dark gray, and that covers the canopy, the astromech, all these doodads back here. A little paint chipping here and there, but what are you going to do? The whole center of the bottom of the ship. And then it goes back to the front right here. And that dark gray is also on the engines, on the bottoms, and also the laser cannons on the backs and forwards. Looking good. And a lot of this is molded plastic, such as the laser cannons, but some of it is paint, and I think they did a great job matching the two. Pretty nice. And the final color we have is a nice glossy black for the canopy windows, and you can see how that reflects light Looking great. So that does it for the mold and the paint. So now let's put this baby back on the stand, compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. Now, just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool translucent stand. Just peg it in the port like so, hear that click, and just like that, you're good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars Causes Fireball seen in the center. On the right hand side we have the Blue Ace, a very nice ship, and then on the left hand side we have the Green Ace. Now if you would like to see me review any of these ships, I'll put links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Causes Fireball. Now this particular vessel may not be my favorite, but I do like a lot of the elements in the design, such as the nose cone, the laser cannons, and those engines. I love the shape of those bad boys. Now, the paint, very nice. Yes, mine does have chipping in the aft and forward sections, but what are you gonna do? They're toys, sometimes they get messed up. But I really do enjoy the colors. I love the green and off tan. Very cool in my opinion. Green's my favorite color, so it might be a little biased, but it is what it is. And you can't forget, it does come with that awesome stand to help it blend in with the rest of the collection. So that's everything I have to say about the Fireball today. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.